One day, someone who once knew everything about you started talking to you like you were a stranger. No fight, no explanation, no moment you can point to and say, that is where it changed. Just a slow fade. And the terrifying part is not that they left. It is that you still remember exactly how loved they used to make you feel. And now that same person reads your messages and does not reply, stands in the same room as you and feels miles away, laughs with other people the same way they used to laugh, only with you. If you know this feeling, stay with me, because what I am about to tell you is the thing nobody explained when it happened, and understanding it will change how you see every relationship in your life. And this is the part that destroys people. Most relationships do not end suddenly. They die quietly, so quietly that you do not even notice until the silence becomes impossible to ignore. Here is the truth that hurts most. People do not become strangers overnight. What happened slowly became visible suddenly. Think about it. The distance was already growing. Replies became colder. The pauses became longer. Plans started getting cancelled just a little too easily. You started feeling unwanted before you even understood why. But you explained it away. They are busy. They are going through something. Things will go back to normal. And slowly, without realizing it, you started shrinking yourself to take up less space in a relationship that was already leaving. Until one day, you ran out of explanations. And the distance that had been quietly growing for months was finally impossible to pretend away. People do not drift away without a reason. Sometimes the reason is visible. A betrayal. A fundamental difference that finally surfaced. A version of them you were never supposed to see. But sometimes the reason is invisible. And invisible reasons are the ones that hurt the longest. Sometimes people outgrow each other. Not because anyone did anything wrong, but because they grew in completely different directions, and the version of them that connected with you no longer exists. Sometimes people disconnect from themselves before they disconnect from you. They are going through something they cannot name, and instead of reaching toward you, they retreat inward, not because you meant less, but because their pain needed silence. And here is the painful part nobody tells you. You keep blaming yourself for a distance that began inside them. And sometimes people show you who they really are only after they feel safe enough to stop performing. The version you loved was real, but it was also the version they showed when they were still trying. And at some point, they stopped trying. None of these explanations make it hurt less, but they make it make sense. And sense is where healing begins. When someone becomes a stranger, the confusion is worse than the loss, because loss has a shape. You know what you are grieving. But this has no clear edges. You are not grieving someone who died. You are grieving someone who is still alive, still posting, still existing, just no longer for you. Psychologists call this ambiguous grief, mourning something that has no funeral, no closure, no final conversation, no moment where anyone acknowledges what you lost, just a quiet ache that sits inside ordinary days and makes everything feel slightly heavier than it should. And your brain keeps doing something cruel. It keeps searching for the old version of them, in their voice, in old messages, in the way they still laugh at certain things. And finding those traces makes it so much harder to let go, because part of you still believes they are in there somewhere, and maybe they are, but that version of them is no longer choosing you. And that is the part you have to learn to accept. People become strangers for 100 different reasons, and almost none of them are really about you. They are about growth, about pain, about the way people change when life quietly changes them. But here is what I need you to hold on to. The connection was real, even if it ended, even if they changed, even if they became someone you no longer recognize. What you shared happened, and nothing that comes after can erase what was genuine in the beginning. Some people do not leave all at once. They leave in pieces, and by the time you finally notice, you are already grieving someone who is still standing right in front of you. You are allowed to grieve what you lost. You are allowed to miss the person they were. But do not let that loss make you afraid of every connection that comes after. Some people are meant to walk with you forever. Others are meant to walk with you only until you both become who you needed to be. Understand yourself. Master your world. Lucid psyche.